there we
I'm
are.
hoping it'll answer a lot of my questions. I just heard somebody else criticizing, Christ consciousness. And I think it's like Mike was saying, we're not meant to be God. We're children of God. We're his son, daughter.
Hey, yeah, and Jesus was his son, and he's our brother. So that makes sense to me. All right, turning the mic over to you, Lee Castaldo. This mic is all yours.
Okay, welcome everyone. And we are reading The Annihilated Self, Consumed by the Fire of Love by James F. Twyman. I don't want my video on. And as always, please just unmute yourself and share as you feel prompted. But before I start, this has been so impactful for me. So I just wanted to read this. Um, the, the word mercy, I always thought was just like forgiveness. So there's a prayer in the Divine Mercy Chaplet that says, for the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. But I came across Scott Hahn's definition, and his definition, which I'm not sure where he got it from, but I'm sure he shared it. Mercy is God's power, wisdom, and goodness manifest in unity. So in our world, he's manifesting the wisdom and the goodness. And that's, you know, um, so important, especially now. So let's go to the final step, chapter 15. Starts out with soul. I believe I'm ready, love, ready to step away from all things time has taught me into the timelessness where you radiate and live. Please share any final advice you might have for taking this final step. Lynn, I'm not sure what you have up. Can you see your screen?
I
Yeah,
have
we
like
got the,
several different screens, so I just put up the wrong one. Sorry.
That's okay.
That was from the Christ Mind with Daryl Worley. All right,
Yeah, you have amazing screens. I don't know how you do all those screens.
there we go. How about that? All right.
That's it. Okay, the final step. All right. So this is love's answer. Ah, dear soul, what appears as a final step is, in truth, a falling away of steps entirely. There is no more ladder to climb, no more path to walk, no more you to carry forward. You have come to the edge of concepts. The horizon is no longer a line, it is dissolving. The last illusion is that you must leap, but even the leaper is love. Even the distance between here and there is illusion. You are already home. The step is not forward, it is inward. It is the holy stillness that says, I am ready that. I have always been that. All advice now becomes silence. Excuse me. All instruction becomes breath. But if you must have words, then let these be your last. In italics, do not resist anything. Do not cling to anything. Do not believe anything the ego whispers in fear or pride. Let the wave rise, let the wave fall. You are not the wave, you are the sea. Let the world whirl and ache and heal. You are not the storm, you are the sky. Let every identity unravel. Let every holy role, every title, every name, even soul, drop. You are not what has a name. You are the name beyond all sound. If pain comes, bless it. If joy comes, bless it. If nothing comes, bless that too. And when love rises within you, unasked, unearned, let it do what it will. Let it teach through your tears. Let it sing through your silence. Let it walk the world in your sandals, barefoot and shining. That is all. Wow. I didn't want to interrupt, so I'm going to go back. Anybody want to comment before I comment? All right,
Yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to say, yeah, that's a beautiful part there about I can't see it now, but where it was talking about that we let every identity unravel, let every identity unravel, let every holy role, every title, every name, even soul drop. You are not what has a name. You are the name, capital N, beyond all sound. Yeah, that's all the false illusions I have about myself, all the false idols I've set up that aren't the real me. It's we were talking about this in the last session. I'm the one true self that's still part of God. The name, capital N name. I like that.
I do too. Yeah,
That's all. Thanks.
absolutely. Oh my goodness, yeah. And it also said the step is not forward, it is inward. And I have to share because I was so impressed yesterday at Mass. The pastor referred back to Richard Rohr, and I was like, oh, wow, how nice. Um, okay, so the step is inward. It is the holy stillness that says, I am already that. I have always been that. Um, and all advice now becomes silence. Oh my goodness. Do not resist anything. Do not cling to anything, the good or the bad, right? I don't know where I was just reading that, but just accept it all. Do not believe anything the ego whispers in fear or pride. We were just talking about humility. Let the waves rise and let the wave fall. You are not the wave, you are the sea. You know, let the pain come. It even addresses it. Let the ache and hurt come and heal. You are not the storm. And I do love that sentence. You are the name with a capital N beyond all sound. If the pain comes, bless it. If the joy comes, bless it. And then above all, if nothing comes, bless that too. Those times where we feel empty and have nothing to give, or feel like we're not getting anything, even through our devotion. To just remember our lesson. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. I was really caught up in all the war news this weekend, and I really had to just kind of settle in. If I can only just remember, it's a call for love, and that's what we're called to do here. We're called to bring love to what we consider not a good situation. But I don't know what anything is for. So I have to just trust and hope that God's in charge. Be you in charge. So I really needed to hear today's lesson.
And Kathy has her hand up.
I'm sorry, Kathy, just go ahead.
Oh, I love listening. It's so amazing. when you mentioned Richard Rohr, whom I love, and I love his daily reading, and yesterday I believe it's another one I printed, was really, really powerful. I also was hearing, for me, it's like delivering a baby. The pain can be, you know, horrendous, but it's the beginning of a new life. And understanding, it's again the misunderstandings, the pain and fear, the confusion of that, not to run away from. And I'm hearing it's whatever, as we know, has been said so many times, whatever we resist grows. And I was here when you say, I am that. I am one, with God, in God, through Him, with Him. Um, how many times in my life, I guess, hearing or watching people say, "Who the heck do you think you are?" And and again, when you're a small child and spinning and watching and listening, it's like being sent out there, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Now I just heard, we are all this one ocean, and the thread for me, I've been understanding it's the gold. It's a golden thread. God's love is golden. His rule is golden. There is only one, and everything else can, be peeled away, or we pull those threads that leave you with nothing. But there is one to remember, and it's weaving. We're woven in this oneness. It's just a golden thread, and it's beautiful. And to look out at the world and to watch it, to bring it back in me and offer it to the one who knows. Um, I have the Trinity icon that I know Richard Rohr loved, and I guess it was when I was young, it was being surrounded with Catholicism, and yet we weren't baptized. Everything around me was, and I was a sinner being born because I hadn't been baptized, and my darling cousins and friends would baptize me, and I think sometimes at the ocean. I am now. I was baptized for my three sons, and I am baptized a Catholic. But I know and understand all of that misinformation and confusing information. Um, but the Trinity icon is fabulous. And then I have there's a piece of art that was done, and I love Jesus is holding the candle for Joseph as Joseph does his woodworking. And the candle goes through his hands. You see the light go through Jesus' hand. Being a Reiki master, I always found that pretty touching, and I removed the master part of it, I guess. But you see the candle reflection on Joseph, and to me, that's it. It's holding the candle for one another, and the message is we are that light, and it's in the sharing it and trusting it. Just hold on to that light, and thank you for helping me remember.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for all that sharing. I've never seen that picture. I would love to see that. But I saw another hand up too, Steve.
Yes, it occurred to me, if something's pleasurable, bless it. If it's not pleasurable, bless it. If it's nothing, bless it. The act of blessing is coming from the place beyond good and bad, beyond the polarities of this world of form. And so I really like that. Thank you. I'm complete.
Yeah, yeah, bless it, right? Because really, when you think it's a call for love, and we're called to bring that love, right? Yes, thank you. All right. If there's no other comments, I'll go to Soul. Soul replies, then I will go forward by remaining still. Get that? I just get that picture, right? I will go forward by remaining still. I will love without knowing how. I will serve without seeking to be seen. And I will live without needing to remember who I was. Oh, wow. And if I forget again, if I try to grasp or to guard, I will stop. I will breathe, and I will fall once more into you. And I'm getting that mental picture of visibly falling into his arms. I will love without knowing how. Um, we're actually doing the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount, and I started the reading, and this is part of us, part of the reading. It says, in calling us to perfection, Jesus calls us to grow and mature. The Sermon on the Mount is to encourage us to grow into our calling, a calling to perfection that came to each of us in our baptism. It's a desire to be transformed by it. And the one who began this work in you will continue to complete it until the day of Christ Jesus. So we're called to be in this work. We're called to love, but we're not called to be in it alone. We do have help if we remember. And he says, and if I forget again, if I try to grasp or to guard, I will stop. I will breathe, and I will fall once more into you. And love turns and says, and you will be caught always. And Gloria wrote, to bless, make no demands. Let everything be exactly as it is. And I guess that's why we need to keep practicing the course lessons, so that we can keep being reminded and get to that level that Jesus wants us to get to. Love says, and you will be caught always, for I have never left you, not even for a moment. Not in your darkness, not in your dreams, nor in your longing to awaken. You are my reflection, my rhythm, my radiant forgetting of separation. Now go, not as someone who knows, but as one who is. Not as someone who knows, but as one who is. Let the stars pass through you. Let the ground beneath you be holy. Let every eye that meets yours see nothing, but feel everything. And when no more words remain, be the silence that holds the world together. Wow. Be the silence that holds the world together. And Soul said, yeah, that was love. Soul says, then this is the end of me and the beginning of love with a capital L. And love says, no, beloved, it is the end of me, the little me, and the revelation of what never began. Rest in this, move in this. Let this light have its way, and be glad, for you are free. At last, you are free. Time to fly. Wow. And that's the end of chapter 15. Oh my goodness. Let me just read this final reflection again. Soul says, that is the end of me and the beginning of love. And love returns. No, beloved, it is the end of the little me and the reflection of what never began. Rest in this. Move in this. Let this light have its way. And be glad, for you are free. At last you are free. And it's time to fly. Any comments? Wow, what a chapter. You will be caught always, for we were never left. We were never even for a moment alone.
It's Kathy. I
Go
love to
ahead.
fly. When we were little children, we had fields that were full of milkweed, which were full of caterpillars, which we would bring in and put in a jar with air holes and plants and more milkweed, and it would turn to the chrysalis, and then the beautiful chrysalis, and then go very black, and then realize that black are the lines of its wings. Um, I had seen. I forgive me if I'm saying anything that is bothering anyone, but it's that I saw, just as the caterpillar prepares to die, black is black, he becomes the butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
It's that wakening up to our spreading our wings with the help of each other, of course. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. And again, the sermon Sunday was on the on all the animals that go through all the insects that go through the metamorphosis, and he brought up the caterpillar and the tadpoles. But what caught my attention was how um, he gave this little story about how, say, all the caterpillars are, no, it was tadpoles. Say all the tadpoles were in the water, and they were all talking to each other and saying, "Boy, they leave, but they who knows what happens to them? It's scary. Who knows? So they all make a pact. Okay, when it's your turn, you've got to come back and tell us what it's like and what happens. And um, actually, he used firefly or so. I don't know. He used one of the insects. But what happened was, the insect had wings when it got transformed, and it couldn't go back into the water and tell them that what it's like to be free and to know, and I thought with that, what it's like to really know God. When you have those joyful moments, when you feel that peace of God, it's just exuberant. It's just so wonderful. Um, but it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't believe or doesn't want to believe. And I see somebody wrote, as Dove says, "Thy will be done. Our will is one. Our will is done." And thank you, God. Yes. And that's my prayer through this whole weekend. Thy will be done. um, and Kathy also put on, we had those too, put them in water and watch them transform into frogs, right? Yeah, how fabulous. But he used a certain one because it had the wings, so it couldn't go back into the water. And I forget what it was. But anyway,
Maybe a
um,
dragonfly.
dragonfly, that was it. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah. So it was, quite a visual, not going back. That's why I think I was, for a while, I was really into near-death experiences. It's kind of fallen away. I think now it's become so many that I don't know if I really believe all of them, but it is fascinating. Any other comments now that we've finished the annihilated self, consumed by the fire of love? Okay, I still have like half an hour. Um,
And I'm trying to download that book. I can only get it on the FASM site, and it is an EPUB. There we go. And I had to download an EPUB reader. So now
oh,
I've
wow.
got that. So yeah, it's always something. I mean, this will be good because then I'll be able to actually get EPUBs now, which I had not done before.
I never
I
even heard of that.
Yeah, it's what because it's not available on Kindle. The book is not, or according to my Kindle anyway. But it is available on from the Foundation for A Course in Miracles site, but it
Oh,
comes in as an EPUB. So it's processing now, and we could, talk a little bit about that as well.
Could
Interesting. Go ahead,
I
Robert.
jump in real quick?
Or no, is that
Sure.
Mike?
Mike, go
That's
ahead.
Mike. Yeah, this last chapter, these last few pages are just filled with so much stuff. I'm looking at it in Kindle. I'm just highlighting and highlighting and highlighting. I just highlight the whole chapter. Um, but the very last part is from love. Yeah, it's up there on the screen too. Um, no, beloved. Well, Soul says, then this is the end of me, small case me, and the beginning of love. And I would interpret that to be like the personal me, the personal self, the small s self, and then love says, no, beloved, it is the end of me, and it's in quotation marks, and the revelation of what never began. Rest in this, move in this. And I like whenever the teachings or the readings say rest. Just rest, just be, and just be the I am, be the light. And then it says, let this light, capital L, have its way, and be glad, for you are free. At last you are free. Time to fly. And yeah, the oneness we have with God, the light, just let it shine. Just let it shine through me, from me out into the world, and be free. It's beautiful. A lot of things here to contemplate on, meditate on, and let them see how they sink into me. Beautiful reading, beautiful book. Thanks for doing this, Lynn. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for all your comments too. I'm just amazed at the depth of this book. It just touches your heart so deeply. It's just so beautiful. And I'm glad you reread those lines again, because I was sitting here thinking maybe I should reread it again. Um, and actually, I was just going through the end of the book, and he has a few things in here. Oh, I didn't realize there's a summary. No, I'm reading the wrong one. Oh, I'm looking at A Course in Miracles, Christianity, and I'm thinking I had that one. No, yeah, I don't think there's any more. The end of the book just talks about more books.
Oh yeah, and because it's Take Heart that is doing it, it's the same people, Glenn, who also publishes Sebastian's books. So, and of course, I'm in love with Sebastian. So,
Mm. Yeah, that book is so powerful. I'm reading that book now, actually, in Awakening Together
which book is
on
that?
Tuesday night.
Oh, the
Um,
Age of the Heart
the
or
the Age of the Heart.
Age of the Heart?
Yeah, I can't wait to read The Annihilated Self. I'll read that after I finish, but that'll take a little bit longer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's exciting. It's really exciting. So I do have the new book already up and everything. Um, so we could take a look at it if you want to.
Sure. You know what? I could read some of the introduction
Yeah, that's a great idea. So,
because I don't know what I would say for all this time. I'm not good just with
it wouldn't be
doing
you,
that.
the Holy Spirit in charge. All right.
Yes, for sure.
All right. And so this is a 2-column reading. So can you see it on the screen yet? No.
No. Oh, okay.
That's a 2-column reading. So,
Oh, okay.
hopefully, can you read? Is it too small? Do I need to make it bigger?
Well, I have the book, so I'm actually reading from the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
So that, that's fine.
yeah. Okay.
Unless anybody else needs it larger. But actually, there's 5 pages for the introduction.
Yeah. Good.
All right, so there's a preface. Yeah, there it is. It says on January 4th, 1989, at the foundation of A Course in Miracles, I engaged in a dialogue with Father W. Norris Clark, a Roman Catholic Jesuit priest and philosopher, on the differences and similarities between A Course in Miracles and traditional or biblical Christianity. Oh, I'm so glad. This is exactly what I was looking for. Father Clark is an unusual priest and a Catholic philosopher insofar as he has an open-minded and non-judgmental approach to non-Catholic teachings, all the while retaining his very strong personal faith in the truth of the Roman Catholic Church. His background is impressive and is summarized briefly here. So I just have to also mention this because there was a breakfast and there was a guest speaker yesterday. But you know how we talked about how we truly appreciated Pope Francis and all that he brought in. He said he feels that the church went from, the Ten Commandments and the rigidness of, the Christianity, like thou shalt not kill. In other words, it was very rigid, to the Beatitudes, where he feels it was Pope Francis that instrument that brought forward that we need to do works of mercy and works of kindness, and that he feels like this brought up a new age for us, which I thought was very interesting. And I agree. I felt like there's a change in the Catholic Church, and they are trying anyway, I think. But anyway, Rev W. Norris Clark, S.J.,
I just
earned
want
his
to say something
Go
real
ahead.
quick here.
Sure.
Yes, and do you know that if now Pope Leo now is going back to Vatican II, where they made a huge statement about what the purpose of the church was and what Jesus was really teaching, and it is an incredible document that I think some people just completely forgot about. And
Mm,
so these are things that came from I think Pope John the 23rd. Anyway, from the Second Vatican Council. Anyway, back in the 60s. And I have that whole document on line, and it is just incredible what they had decided back in those days that the church was for, and it goes right along with what you're just now saying. Finally,
mm,
the church is
hmm
finally giving up its uh whatever stance, and there are still some people in the church that don't even buy Vatican II. There's people that think that we should go back to the Latin Mass. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the some people in the church,
Yeah,
but
I do hear the same.
yeah. And I mean, there's a group of that are from Pius the 11th or whatever, who are wanting to, take the church back. And it ain't happening, dudes.
Well, look at the criticism that Pope Francis received.
Yeah,
He tried to bring out the works of mercy and the Beatitudes, and and actually doing things, and he was just criticized.
yeah, yeah. Because there are people, and there's people in this country for sure who purport to be Catholic, who are thinking anything but the teachings of Jesus, and including people in high office in the government who completely misconstrue what Jesus had to say. And thank God Pope Leo is correcting them.
Yes.
I can't
Yeah.
believe these guys are trying to tell the Pope what Jesus said.
Uh,
Anyway, I follow that stuff real closely, and it is not because I'm like I am interested in the church. You know, I love the church. The church is my original spiritual home. It's where I first learned everything about God, and you know, I believe me, I don't even imagine that if Jesus was walking around right now, he'd be looking at the church and saying, uh, you know, you guys are doing what I asked you to do. I mean, there in a lot of ways they are, but in a lot of ways there's a lot
right.
of
But you know
decency.
what? I also think, like we keep hearing that there's this oneness. So eventually it's all going to have to come back to Christ. It's
Yeah,
all going to have to be what Jesus says, and
yeah,
he can use all things for good.
yep.
So, as much as we're disappointed with some of it or appalled, um, I feel he's got a bigger plan.
He does. Yeah. And A Course in Miracles is it really. I mean, once we start living this life of true forgiveness, it is going to shift the world. It's going to change everything. So I'll let you keep reading. I'm sorry I butted in. So you're
No, please do. Yeah,
uh,
no, I like the conversation. And if you think of it, one of those websites, they're really good. If you would email,
oh sure,
because
absolutely.
I would like to,
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
please.
I'm sitting here eating my breakfast and loving everything. Thank you so much. Finally, I got to connect with you guys. As I said, I've been listening to you for so long and just didn't know how to connect. It's timing. It's I'm hearing in my mind, it really is about timing, and that word perfect again, perfect timing until they're ready. Um, it's that understanding. It's all about timing, and I'm hearing the surrender. It's the surrendering to all things. Uh, yeah, I know. I remember my mom had said to me, "My life hadn't begun," and I may have shared that with you before. And that was I was well into my 50s and with sons and going through the divorce, or whatever. And I thought, "What are you saying? My life hasn't begun." But it's about that ready. Get ready when that right moment is, and again in the now. Um, it's all perfect timing. If that makes any sense, that's what I'm
Yes.
hearing in my head. So until they're ready. And, again, that's the scary part, at least for me, sharing my truth, where I may be. And if they're not ready to hear it, it gets taken in a wrong way. Now, okay, back projection, back and forth. So constantly I keep bringing it back to me and going, okay, let me look at this again. I keep asking, help me understand as I watch or feel the misunderstandings. That pointed finger, just has to keep coming back to me and trusting that process.
Yeah, I agree. The timing is everything. When we're ready to hear and really receive makes a big difference. We have to be open. That's why we have to keep on surrendering.
And for
And
me, it is that, um, I guess my search has been to find like this gathering. It's finding others, other souls that have this um, knowing inside. But it's so powerful when we find others to join with to help us on this path. But it's that not being alone, but that fear of, like saying, for the popes, it's to speak up I guess I look back in the old days, oh my God, burned at the cross or
Mm.
what have you, right? But it may be truth being spoken, but offense is taken, so struck down, but the one that is speaking the truth, their truth, I guess, hold on to that. I'm hearing in my head, or the world being flat, punished for that. The world doesn't
Mm.
want the change. And I get
Mm.
that. I get that grasping, holding on to not wanting things to change or losing a loved one or watching the change. And I heard it this morning. Oh my God, look in the mirror. Oh my God, who is this person I'm looking at? But we're so much more than that. So it's having one another to help one another to stay on that path, ready to receive and accept what is here for us right now. And we help each other that way.
So true. Yeah. And I know that was my searching, 30 years ago when I just was looking for all these answers. And then when I found, when somebody gave me the book Return to Love and they just kept referring back to the Course in Miracles, that was like, I have to find that book. I have to read it. And I kind of feel the same with this book. Like I've been saying for a long time now, I feel like there's this oneness between the Bible and A Course in Miracles. And, you know, again, there's been a lot of criticism against the Course in Miracles, but it's like I read in Age of the Heart, we weren't ready. We were in the age of reason. So certain things have to be birthed. And the birthing pain, like somebody was talking about before, you know, makes it difficult, the birthing pains, but we have to go through the birthing pain to get the beauty that comes through, just like the baby.
And we lived in a world where if anything was referred to the Bible or structured religion, like those misunderstandings and the pushback. And yet the truth remains true. And how quickly, again, back to that misunderstanding, God is love. Love does not harm. Love does
Mm.
not cause pain. Other than, yeah, let's deliver the baby beautiful, but not to resist that pain is how we deliver a baby. And I understand that. And it's that grasping, is where the pain is, right? They say when you grasp and hold your breath and what have you, the pain gets bigger and bigger. And it's understanding. Now I'm hearing Dr. Ihaliaki Len with Ho'oponopono. It's in the breath. It's breathing. It's water. It's life. And it's all here for us. And so many different paths to just get us there. And
Mm.
making it available. And Return to Love was lovely. And I've shared it with other people, and if they get it, they get it. But gosh, there's a lot of resistance. I guess it's, again, fear to show up as we are. I guess, I don't know. But, I'm hearing, God forbid, if you say God. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm hearing people say God, or even using that as something to judge. It's you were talking about church, and I've heard that a lot of young people are starting to come back to church, which is pretty cool. With, I'm hoping, the universal open-minded church. And I had someone who I love who has been anti-God for punishment in the past that she felt was done to her through nuns. And she was in an accident. She said, Kathy, I heard myself say, Jesus, take the wheel.
Wow.
And wow. So it's
Mm-hmm.
whatever moments we need
Mm-hmm.
to wake us up.
Mm-hmm.
And yet keep that door wide open and let
Mm.
them all in and have that available. Whatever's needed will be.
Mm. And I couldn't help but think about the birthing process. We don't have a choice. No matter how much pain there is, that baby's coming. So, you know, um, you just have to go with the flow and surrender. And I do think the church had to make a lot of adjustments, and I think they're being forced into it. So I think it's a good thing.
And lastly, on
Well,
that note, my mom had 5 babies in a short amount of time, tiny little woman. And she told me, she had them without anything, and no judgment on anybody that does. We all have different pain tolerance. Everything she taught me was to understand this can be done. And so those were the lessons. So when I had my boys, I had really painful deliveries, but I didn't have anything because I said my mom could do this. So I can too. And it was in the breath. It was it was like, wow, tremendous, humongous surrendering. But it was in the breath and not tightening up. It just continually, I kept hearing, this can be done. I can do this. And I think that's in the book, in the readings, in the sharing. If they can have it, or in the 12-step rooms, I can too. And so it's not to say, people, unfortunately, that I've observed, they'll take it as if you're judging them. What's wrong with me? You're saying, because I didn't do it, I'm wrong. No, it's not that at all. God, it's the empowerment of the message is for everyone. And so share the message and then let it go. Where I would get involved because I would say, no, I know this, it can be done. But that was, one of my many errors. But it's in the sharing, and when they're ready, but it's not about me. It's something so much bigger than me. So
right.
anyway, it's really beautiful.
Yes.
So
And we can't force it on anybody either. It's got to be on their time, which takes a lot of patience sometimes.
True.
All right, let's see. So we're back to Norris Clark. So he was at Fordham University, and he taught for 31 years until he retired in 1985. Since his retirement, he has been a visiting professor at universities, colleges across the nation. He founded and for 25 years was editor-in-chief of the International Philosophical Quarterly. He has served as president of both the American Catholic Philosophical Association and the Metaphysical Society of America, and as a member of the Executive Council of the American Physiological Association. He has lectured widely and has published more than 60 articles in philosophical and the theological journals and anthologies, and has authored 3 books. He is loved and respected in religious and philosophical circles around the world as a man of deep faith and wisdom. And we talked about Father Richard Rohr, and I remember him coming under a lot of scrutiny and conflict. But then Pope Francis also told him to keep up the great work. Some reason this world takes a long time to accept what they're supposed to accept, I guess. Numerous awards and honors have been bestowed on Father Clark in recognition of his outstanding qualities as a teacher, philosopher, and priest. Among these honors are the American Catholic Philosophical Association's Aquinas Medal for Distinguished Contribution to Christian Philosophy, the Outstanding Teacher Award from Fordham University, an honorary doctoral degree from Villanova University and Wheeling Jesuit College. I am honored that he accepted the Foundation's invitation to join me in this dialogue. Father Clark and I have been friends for many years, and he was the ideal person with whom to enter into this dialogue. Our conversation was videotaped, but unfortunately the quality of the tapes was unsatisfactory. This book is an edited version of the dialogue, which includes minor changes made to enhance readability and the additional clarifying material with appropriate references to A Course in Miracles and the Bible. I have added a special introduction for this book, an appendix that introduces A Course in Miracles to the readers unfamiliar with it, and a glossary of many of the terms and names that are referred to throughout the dialogue for those who may not know them. I am extremely grateful to Father Clark for his willingness to participate so graciously in this dialogue, and for the clarity he has brought to the issue of comparing A Course in Miracles and biblical Christianity. I also wish to thank my wife Gloria and Rosemarie Lasasso, the Foundation's Director of Publications. Originally, Father Clark's doctoral student at Forum University. How small the world is. Both of whom were present during the dialogue for their many suggestions in preparing for the dialogue itself, as well as for this book. Okay, so this is actually, if I'm reading this right, this is actually Ken saying all of this. So this is firsthand. Beautiful. Briefly, he says, incidentally, for the purpose of this dialogue, the focus was more on the New Testament, although as the discussion will show, the Old and the New Testaments together reflect a common theological orientation. Many students of A Course in Miracles have been tempted to call the Course the Third Testament. I never heard that though. Expressing their belief that it represents the same basic theology of the Bible, although in a more purified, less ego-dominated, or more spiritually evolved form. As will be clear from the dialogue between Father Clark and me, this grossly distorts what A Course in Miracles teaches, and is a real disservice to both the Course and the Bible. In fact, the Course and the Bible reflect entirely different and mutually exclusive theologies that can never be integrated into one coherent spirituality. Interesting. This crucial difference can be summarized in the statement that for Christians, the Bible is the Word of God, Christians differing only to the degree of literalness the various churches ascribe to it. While from the perspective of Course in Miracles, the Bible would be seen as just one among many religious documents that reflect the consciousness of the time and culture in which they were written. Based on the important distinction the Course draws between form and content, the Bible would be understood as merely the form in which a people expressed its view of the world and of God. No different, therefore, from the works of the great Western poets such as Homer, the Greek tragedians, Dante, Shakespeare, and Goethe, along countless other poets and artists. I'm going to stop there. Since we're running out of time, and I'll give time, Lynn. But this is going to be interesting. And I have to thank the internet because it popped up as I was ordering one of the other books.
Very
So
cool.
thanks so much for all the conversations. This has been great morning, but I do have to run. So I will hand you back the mic, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Lynn Castaldo. And okay, yeah. So and I appreciate it so much you being here with us. And this is going to be fascinating. I'm excited about it because as those of us who are reading the Symphony of Love on Saturday mornings, we know that Ken himself grew up as a Jew, but converted to Catholicism and became a monk and and stayed in different monasteries around the Israel and other places. So very interesting. This is going to be fun.